Very honest with you, let's take Uncle KSM out. But when you're talking about natural stand-up comedian in Ghana, there isn't. There was a guy who was trying at Suarez, but with all due respect to him, no, I am going to make this statement, and I'm talking from a background I know a little bit about. There's no stand-up comedian in Ghana. There's no talent. There's no raw talent. You see, what you are getting wrong in Ghana, and I say, when 2 or 3 young boys come together and they are fooling in their head, and I say, when people watch them fool, they think it's comedy, and I say stand-up comedy. That's not how it works. With all due respect, I know some people might be offended, but I have to say it.
According to Kevin Taylor, no, there is no solid stand-up comedian in Ghana apart from KSM and perhaps Clemento Suarez. Now, see the likes of Obi and Ponsan, NHS, DKB, and Kono, they are not funny at all. Now, Ochemu said they are, according to him, no stand-up fools, and that there is difference between stand-up comedian and a fool. Now, Otwas also cite examples say there are some comedians in Ghana led by Obi and Ponsa who are calling for the government to invest into stand-up comedy. Now, so when the government or individuals are to invest into stand-up comedy, would they reap the benefit? Now, Otwas also heaped praises on a few people, that is KSM and then Clemento Suarez, for trying to hold the stand-up comedy in Ghana down. Mumenko tie de Kevin Taylor eka the Ghanaian state of comedy so near Kayo say Vimba so and away for I been chair a comment section. Let
me tell you, talent there, unim talent near and show I want to see people like us, no, Yenny Mibia, I do some time, it mean about near such talent near there. It's yeah, Mamo Shabano, anytime better sanko for you, so Kevin, I can't women, they are good, but Jemmy Chechum Kakrama Matias here, all right. Into talent, that's how it is. And the entertainment industry in Ghana, no, when you come to music, when you come to movies, comedy, stand-up comedy to say. Recently, to say no more can be say they need money, need nyama. I think this afternoon I was reading something. Now video be on social media, news be no more interview. Obi boy be also a comedian. Obi and Ponson said that boy now kasi here funding for stand-up comedy. No. You see, with all due respect to where they are so making abisim, with all due respect to these boys are from comedians. Me, when you ask me if there's a comedian in Ghana, I'll find it very difficult to tell you there's a comedian in Ghana, a stand-up comedian. To be very honest with you, let's take Uncle KSM out. But when you're talking about natural stand-up comedian in Ghana, there isn't. There was a guy who was trying at Suarez, but with all due respect to him, no, I am going to make this statement, and I'm talking from a background I know a little bit about. There's no stand-up comedian in Ghana. There's no talent. There's no raw talent. You see, what you are getting wrong in Ghana, and I say, when 2 or 3 young boys come together and they are fooling in their head, and I say, when people watch them fool, they think it's comedy, and I say stand-up comedy. That's not how it works. With all due respect, I know some people might be offended, but I have to say it. There's a difference between fooling and stand-up comedy. But because the people in that particular trade, and I say professional, they don't even understand what they are doing. When 2, 3, 4, 5 boys come and they are sweating and they are fooling on a particular platform, in their head, they are doing stand-up comedy or they are comedians. It doesn't work like that. You see, stand-up comedy is a specific thing. And if you really want to understand stand-up comedy, if a comedian comes to stand in front of you, and say, we need resources to become noticeable, then that person does not even understand the trade he or she is in. Because right now, today, if I meet an investor, and I say, if I pick something like $200,000 and that's $300,000, and I want to invest in a stand-up comedian in Ghana, I would not be able to point to one and say, if I put $500,000 in you, I can move you to a point. Because we need to understand. I know some people are going to be pissed off, but I don't care. We need to understand, say, stand-up comedy is not about fooling. No. There is a distinction between stand-up comedy and fooling. Even today in Ghana, when you come, stand-up comedy, right? What we have in Ghana today does not carry any message. There's no message with it. if you're a stand-up comedian, there should be something that carries your message. There should be something that will force people to want to come watch you. Comedy, the way we see comedy in Ghana is we see some people making jokes, they fool around and they go to bed. They come and sit on some TV and they fool and they act and they go to bed. Oh, these are comedians. No. There is a reason why there are some people around the world that you watch them and you're like, why do people like these people? It's not because of the sitting there and the humor and clapping. No. There is something with it. But that's something that comes with it. No, our people back home don't know it. Somebody like me, I watch stand-up comedy a lot, but I have one specific person I watch. I watch Dave Chappelle. Now, the reason why I watch Dave Chappelle, and I say, you watch Dave Chappelle, you're going to be laughing, but at the end of the day, he will let you understand through his comedy and through the humor. No, you are going to learn more than even enjoying yourself. So you leave Dave Chappelle's show with a lot of education and then a lot of humor than anything else. Now, when you come back home with our boys who say they are comedians, stand-up comedians, you leave their show and you don't carry anything with you. All that you carry with you is this boy is a fool. That's all. And you cannot sell such a product. You cannot sell it to any person who is serious in the entertainment industry. You can't. You cannot do that, because if you don't carry anything with your Trevor Noah, thank you very much. These people, they do the stand-up comedy, but they just don't come and stand there and fool. They come there with a message. So I ask my friends in Ghana who are saying they are comedians, there's a difference between fooling and being a stand-up comedian. And because you people don't understand that, you think, say, somebody will have to come and pump money. Somebody might live in America, might be going through the internet trying to find a stand-up comedian in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, who they can be like, you know what, we've plucked something, we think we can ship this one. But all that they will see is fooling. A stand-up comedian in Ghana is not different from somebody who is fooling on TikTok to make some skits. No, there's nothing there. You see, even when it comes to comedy, clowns, when clowns started back into the American showbiz, clowns don't even talk. It is recently that contemporary comedy, clowns are making some little statement. Clowns, their message was carried through gestures, signs, and things that they do. The real clowns never made a statement that, hey, oh no, clowns don't even speak. You are supposed to be attracted to what they do. That is where their comedy message is. So when you are watching a clown, you don't expect a clown to talk back to you, but you expect a clown's actions to speak to you. You get what I mean? That is a distinction our boys in Ghana don't understand. So it's all about come, fool, let somebody laugh. If you come and you do that consistently, you become a fool. You don't become a stand-up comedian. So you see somebody like Obi Amponsa, you ask him, what do you want to do? He does not know, because he thinks that I just have to fool myself for people to accept me. That's not how stand-up comedy works. With all due respect, boys, I'm being very, very honest. And maybe somebody might feel offended or disrespected, but this is the hard truth I want to tell you people. There's too much fooling. There is no message. When we are talking about stand-up comedy, a stand-up comedian should, even the way they hold their mics, the way they are able to handle pressure, the way they are able to connect with the people watching them, the way they are able to send their message through humor. There's a difference between fooling and sending a message. A stand-up comedian basically is like entering a room whereby too much light is put on you. You don't see whether there are people sitting on the seats watching you, whether the room is full or not. So it's up to you. The more you open your eye, the light, the rays enters your eyes. It becomes difficult to open your eyes. When you close your eyes too, you might not be able to concentrate and know where you are stepping. So how do you move your crowd along? That is what a stand-up comedian needs to know. It is not coming to fool and then sweating and walking off a TV and say, I'm a stand-up comedian. Majority of you don't even understand what you're doing. That is why your trade is just at Jowulu. It is just at Nima. It is just at maybe around GH1 area. That is why it cannot travel to Togo. Because what are you coming with? Today, I can mount stage with those called stand-up comedians in Ghana and nobody can beat me. And that is not my job. But I know When I sit here and I do my show, millions of people who watch me, I don't see them, but I can feel them. I can feel people who watch me. I know their mood. That is my job. I know their mood swing. I know what to hype them. I know what they'll pay attention to, and I know what to make them smile. And if you're a stand-up comedian and you don't understand these things, you are wasting everybody's time. And these are very important things we need to know. And these young men are not making it. They are not cracking it because they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand. If I pick a mic and the greatest stand-up comedian today in Ghana, take KSM out, nobody can stand before me when I hold a mic on stage. Nobody. Because you don't even understand the stage you are standing on, where you have to cover and where you don't have to cover. How you need to position yourself and how you don't need to position yourself. How audience will, you don't know. So what you people are practicing in Ghana is fooling. It is not stand-up comedy. I want Fuja. Oh, when you go to Togo, you have not gone international. Oh, if you go to Togo and you go to Nigeria and you come back and you say you need money, you are still not there. You are still not there. You people live in Ghana. Majority of you have heard stand-up comedians around the world. Why? Because their trade, what they know, people have invested in them. And people don't just invest in people, they need to see something. If I have $200,000 and I want to invest in a stand-up comedian or a stand-up comedy show in Ghana, I need to understand that I am going to attract people here who are investing in that. When they come, they need to invest in that. So prove to me that I can put this amount of money in you. If you cannot, then shut up and sit at home. I'm Kevin Taylor there. Me then you make a trouble. Don't be mad at me. I'm being real here. Nobody today in Ghana can call himself a stand-up comedian. We have a lot of stand-up fools. With all due respect to you guys, I'm very sorry, but there are a lot of stand-up fools. There's a difference between a stand-up comedian and a stand-up fool. I think you people should start learning. Because majority of the stand-up comedians in Ghana, they cannot even do real comedy because they don't even understand what a political comedy is, what social comedy is, what they don't even understand. They don't read. To be a stand-up comedy, you need to read deep, read wide, understand the dynamics. Things have changed. It's not about your friends telling you that you are funny in school. That will make you a better stand-up comedian, or your girlfriend or your friends you drink with. No, it's about consistently challenging yourself and reading in your act. You need to let people know you are more intelligent than they think. And it's not you wearing suit, it is in your delivery. Listen to better stand-up comedians. Your delivery. There are so many things happening in Africa, happening in Ghana today, that a stand-up comedian can have a stand-up like an hour that people will be marveled and say, you have spoken Ghana's problems. But you did it in the way that we were all laughing, but we go home thinking about your message. That is how it's supposed to be. It shouldn't always be we are fooling. When you keep fooling, your head will be big and you will never achieve anything. I feel bad for my boys. So these are factual stuff, but you might be angry, you might come on TV and insult me, but at the end of the day, my $1 is your 12 cedis. You can do stand-up comedy for 6 years. When I take $200 out, I can still take care of you. You just need to humble yourself and listen. I can put $1,000 down. Nobody in Ghana today can beat me stand-up comedy. Nobody. What? You don't even know what you are doing. You don't know what you are doing. How wide have you guys read about even your stand-up comedy? I can pick one topic in Ghana. I can turn into 15 different topics. And I can make people laugh. But at the end of the day, they will sit and say, this guy was telling us something. That is what stand-up comedy means. Today on this platform, I'm officially saying there is no stand-up comedian in Ghana. There are a lot of stand-up fools, with all due respect to you guys, but you have not still cuts it. Nobody cuts it. People bore. You can use me. Some people go outside there and then they'll go on one TV and they will come and they say they are comedians. It doesn't work like that. You cannot go join Big Brother Africa and girls will bully you around and you come and say you're a comedian. No, you might be fooling to your friends for them to think maybe you are between us, you are fooling. But the message that comes with it when you stand on stage, it should be a message that sells you out there. Into Obiantias here, we are at a point where we need to draw the lines for people to understand. All right, now let me say hello to a few people. I can hello to Jocom. Good evening, wherever you are. Money is also live here. Enoch Adote is watching Kevin Taylor and the Ghost Team tonight. Oscar Hogg is live on Loud Silence TV. Ebiane say, Ubi no sorry no di Obaba Kwechi. That is not comedy. That is foolishness. There's no message in there. Oh, I'm over. You tell us what the hell is happening here? We need real talent. We don't need dog meat. We need real talent, man. Make the country know there's something in there. And it doesn't bring money. It will not take you anywhere. You cannot break it. Let me say hello to a few people. With all due respect to my guys, I love you guys all, but this is the hard truth. I can also see Edith watching me tonight. Delali Dixon is also live on Loud Silence TV. Aisha Bulai is watching Kevin Taylor and Ghost Team tonight. I won't wait. Kevin's possible. Okay, Sylvia McCarty is watching Kevin Taylor and the Ghost Team. Prosper Adra Senaya is also live here. Good evening, Prosper. I can see Ifya Nontre on YouTube. I can see Cecilia Brobe. I can see Doti Shago Official is watching me live tonight. Who else is here? I can see Nina. Adonu Flores is here. Good evening, Adonu. Barakat. Good evening to Ajama Onyo. Good evening to Lil Limit watching Kevin Taylor and Ghost Team tonight. Christian is watching me. Steven Jesse Gyimifυor is also live on Loud Silence TV on YouTube and on Facebook. Seth Okumensa is live here. I can see Adam Paul watching Kevin Taylor and the Ghost Team tonight. Kevin Taylor the assemble. Kevin Taylor one way. Assemble ha yenka. Oko kasa na yesi anabada. All right, so that is it. Mumi eje show no and Friday. So that's how it is. We all try to clean ourselves up and move. The Gymilization is too much. We need real talent in Ghana, real ones. Not everyone can fool. Obia Chema can fool every day. Abronya DC can fool, and we have a lot of foolish people. And there's the Wusu they are fooling every day. We need talent. If it's about fooling, everybody can fool. My catch was after KSM, no Suarez and a Katsika Kramame. Suarez sometimes carries some message with his comedy, and I really I've interviewed him one-on-one before. He's not my friend, but when I look through, I think Suarez, if he's shipping a little bit, if I invest like $100,000 in Suarez, I know I can get something out. But they are getting a baller, and I'm not hating anybody, but they are getting a baller. Because if a stand-up comedy show that's an IPA 13, you need to understand there's a problem somewhere. Yeah, I can put together an entertainment show on Saturdays alone in Ghana on TV. Nobody will watch any other TV. They watch me, and I know what to say. That is where you need to understand. Anna intokweni agroni will be back. All right. Somebody's watching from Ivory Coast. Adai Matthew watching us live from Ivory Coast this evening. Thank you very much, Adai. Fatao Bukari watching Kevin Taylor and the Ghost Team this evening. My dad called me texted me about 3 or 4 days ago. Why are you not on air? And I told my dad that I was working on something. I know tonight he's watching me. Good evening, Okakabin Ando. I am back. Nothing went wrong. I was working on an assignment. I am done. So Okakabin Ando, the Paramount Chief of Abra Asebuka Market Traditional Area. I am your son. I saw your text. I replied you, and I know you saw my reply. Very, very important. So I am back to speak on Ghana. My dad got worried when he doesn't hear or he doesn't see me on TV. He starts to call and ask me what is actually happening.
Vimbaz TV.